What if a city had no cars, no streets, and no suburban sprawl? This is The Line, one of the boldest urban experiments on Earth. It does not spread outward like normal cities, it stretches forward. The idea is simple to say and incredibly hard to build. Stack daily life vertically. No streets, no car traffic, just layers of walkable space and fast transit. And the question is not just whether it looks futuristic, it is whether it can actually work. At this scale, even seeing the full project feels impossible. Imagine replacing miles of roads with one continuous urban machine. This project tries to compress an entire city into a single narrow band. Stay with me, because the engineering challenge gets wilder from here. Before the glass and steel, there was only desert, rock, and logistics. First came the measurements, because every megaproject begins with control of the ground. Building a city in a straight line sounds easy until the terrain starts arguing back. The route cuts through difficult landscapes, not blank paper. Engineers need to understand what lies under every meter before foundations begin. Ironically, a city designed without streets still needs roads during construction.
See how
The
the wind
desert
is
may look
affecting the
empty,
mesh right here.
but
The
building
stress
here
is
is
visible.
anything
I
but
see it.
simple.
We should reinforce that section before the storm hits. This area sounds solid though.
To keep the line straight, the landscape often has to bend first. Distance,
team,
heat, and
briefing's
scale
done.
turn
Get to your
ordinary
machines.
site work
Let's
into a
start moving
constant
that earth.
systems challenge. And that is before the actual city structure even starts rising.
The vision is radical. Daily life compressed into a highly efficient vertical layout. Homes, work, schools, and parks are meant to sit minutes apart, not miles apart. In theory, you walk almost everywhere without crossing traffic at all. For longer trips, the whole city depends on fast internal transit instead of highways.
Please stand clear of the doors.
In a city like this, elevators matter as much as streets do in a normal one. Every meter has a job, because wasted space multiplies at this scale. Instead of outdoor streets baking in desert heat, movement shifts indoors or into shade. Green space is not spread out across suburbs here. It is inserted into layers. The whole concept depends on repeatable neighborhood units, not random urban sprawl. A city without streets sounds futuristic. A city without wasted distance sounds even more ambitious. Then comes the hard part, turning the idea into foundations on unforgiving ground. In some places, the desert floor is not sand, it is solid resistance. A project this long cannot rely on one simple foundation strategy everywhere.
Bring the boom
Every
left, watch
structural
the flow.
segment starts the same way,
We need
with the
more
base that
vibration on
nobody
this
will
corner.
celebrate
Keep
on
it
camera.
moving.
Beneath the futuristic facade is a very old truth: steel, concrete, and repetition. Once the base is set, the city starts becoming a physical object instead of a concept. To build faster, as much as possible has to be manufactured, staged, and repeated. On projects like this, the workday rarely ends when the sun goes down. The structure advances piece by piece because nothing at this scale appears all at once. From the air, it looks elegant. On the ground, it is a relentless construction campaign.
A city like this is assembled almost like infrastructure, not grown like a traditional town.
Hold it there. Coming left a touch.
All
The
right, bring
dream
it
only
left.
works if
Easy.
thousands of parts fit together with
Watch the
industrial
gap there.
precision.
Clear, clear. Okay, set it down slow. Perfect.
Even the supply chain becomes a mega project when the building itself runs for miles. Every delivered piece is another step toward making the impossible feel routine. The visual identity may be futuristic, but the process is all about precision and tolerance. If this scale is blowing your mind, hit like and subscribe because we are just getting started.
The
At
caliper
macro
reading
level,
is
it
50
looks like a
millimeters.
concept image. At the micro
That
level,
matches the
every
structural
joint
schematic
matters.
here. The tolerance is acceptable.
The exterior is designed to feel almost unreal against the desert around it. Repetition is the only way a project this ambitious can even attempt efficiency. And this is the moment to ask, how do you run a city like this without roads? The answer starts with replacing horizontal traffic with a stacked movement system. Instead of driving across town, residents would rely on rapid internal rail. For short distances, smaller transit systems could handle the last few minutes of travel. In theory, your daily routine becomes a walk, not a commute. If you enjoyed deep dives into mega projects like this, like the video and subscribe for more. In a normal city, intersections define movement. Here, transfer hubs do. A city without streets still needs circulation for everything the public never sees. Groceries, packages, and supplies still have to move, just not through traffic jams. Even emergency planning changes when a city trades roads for stacked infrastructure. The line is really a bet that mobility can be redesigned from the ground up.
But a city is not just transport. It has to feel like a place people actually want to live in. The promise is that essential services
The new
stay
community
close,
center
dense,
looks
and
great.
always connected.
Yes.
Instead
we
of
should check out
outdoor
the
squares
programs
between
later.
roads, gathering spaces are built into the structure itself. Nature is supposed to appear in pockets and terraces, not sprawling lawns. Here, the city becomes a stack of routines rather than a map of neighborhoods. The idea
atmosphere
is to
here
shrink the
wonderful
distance
this
between
evening.
where people live and where they
Yes,
work.
and the wine is excellent too.
If
I
the
like how the
system works,
workspaces
daily
blend
life
right
becomes
into the
less
living
about
areas.
driving and more about
Yeah,
proximity.
it makes the transition seamless.
The challenge is making density feel desirable instead of claustrophobic. A car-free city sounds safer, quieter, and cleaner, but only if the design truly delivers.
Turn
A
the
city
wheel
is ultimately
faster.
judged by everyday moments, not
It's
just
going
aerial
everywhere.
renders. Then comes the next giant question. Where does all the energy come from? In the desert, water is not just a utility, it is a defining constraint. Keeping people comfortable without endless outdoor streets requires hidden systems on a massive scale. The more compact the city becomes, the more disciplined its hidden operations must be. A project like this also has to constantly measure its own impact. Desert weather does not care how futuristic the architecture looks. Straight lines are easy in drawings and expensive in reality. cleaner the public experience, the more complex the hidden machinery behind it. Mega projects are not just built against physics, they are built against time and coordination. And this is where the vision meets the difficult pace of reality.
Supporters say this could reduce sprawl, shorten trips, and change how cities grow. Critics ask whether extreme density and rigid structure can stay flexible over time. The bigger the dream, the more every delay, redesign, and supply issue matters. A city without
The
cars
next stop
only
is
works
Civic
if public
Center.
movement feels effortless
The
every single
train
day.
is running on time.
The hardest part of future cities is not building structure, it is building real human rhythm.
This
Every decision
visualization
here
confirms our
affects not just a
hypothesis.
block,
The
but
power
an
flow
entire
through this
chain of
intersection
urban
needs
life.
to be optimized before we finalize the urban planning schematics.
The project depends on repeatability, because custom building everything would be too slow.
They look
If it
perfect.
succeeds, the payoff is not just
Best
spectacle,
lunch break
it is a
ever.
new model of daily living. If it fails, it becomes one of the most expensive lessons in modern urban ambition. Either way, the line is already forcing the world to rethink what a city can be. So, can a city really function without cars or streets? Technically, the answer may be yes. Practically, the answer depends on execution. That gap between vision and reality is where all megaprojects live or die. The line is not just trying to build a place, it is trying to build a new urban logic. If you made it this far, tell me in the comments, genius idea or impossible dream? This is what makes mega engineering so fascinating. The vision is always bigger than the blueprint. Like the video if you want more deep dives into the world's boldest infrastructure experiments. Subscribe for more stories about the machines, systems, and ideas reshaping the modern world. Because whether this city succeeds or struggles, it is already one of the most ambitious ideas ever attempted. This was The Line. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next mega project.